Chrissy, Sam and Brownie.
It's a podcast bonus. Phil Wang, a British comedian who you may have seen on Netflix with his special Philly Wang Wang, or his book Side Splitter. Or you can see him live with his show The Real Hero in All This from today at Max Watts. Tickets at comedyfestival.com.au. Here's Phil.
Welcome, Phil.
Hi, Chrissy. Thanks so much for having me today.
Now, I said to you when you came in, I saw you last year, but did I? Maybe it was the year before.
Both you and Brownie said, yeah, I saw you last year, but no, it would have been 3 years ago.
Yeah, because there were no internationals at all last year.
I don't even remember. There was no last year. It's been just 3.
We're trying to work it out. Last year, in one of these, those pockets of freedom in between lockdowns, the Melbourne Comedy Festival went ahead.
Yeah.
The year before that, it was cancelled.
Right.
So we would have seen you the year before.
But you were on our show, weren't you?
Crazy.
Were you on our show? Did you zoom into our show?
No.
You were in here a couple of years ago.
No, obviously my legacy has just sort of hung
It's
around.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
It's great to see you. Are you excited about doing the festival for reals?
Yes, of course. I'm so excited. It's great to be back in Melbourne. It was, this is one of the more heartbreaking things to have to miss over the last couple of years was this festival in this city. So it's great. It's just so nice to be back. Yeah.
Hey, Phil, can I ask a question? You wrote for the Oscars, right? You wrote some jokes for the Oscars.
Oh, yeah.
Do you get paid per joke? Like, if someone says your joke on air, is it per joke?
Yeah, I'm a multimillionaire now. No, I think the whole thing is unpaid. I think you don't even get paid to host.
Oh.
I think it's just the honor of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So how are you involved in the writing of jokes? Who got you to write jokes for them? Which host?
Amy.
Amy.
Yeah. I sent a few jokes to Amy, and she ended up using one of them.
Dude, it wasn't
Which
the one
one?
that she used after the Will Smith incident when she said, the room's just got a different feel about it. 10 minutes later.
Yeah, I owe Chris Rock some money now. No, it was a different joke, but it was a joke also about Will Smith, and he laughed for the last time in his life. he did laugh.
Can we know what the joke was? Or
Yeah, the joke was incredible, isn't it? Inspirational. After years of Hollywood ignoring women's stories, we finally get a movie about the incredible Williams sisters' dad.
That is so true. I went and saw that film, and halfway through I went, hang on, why is the only film about the Williams sisters about their dad?
Yeah.
It's
Otherwise, people wouldn't be
bizarre.
interested.
Yeah,
Mate, that is
I guess.
amazing. Were you watching the Oscars and just saying what gets up and what doesn't get up in terms of your jokes?
Oh no! I was quite chill about the whole thing. But I had a feeling that was the one that got through. But I was so jet lagged when the Oscars was on, so I think I slept through it.
Oh, yeah.
And then I woke up and I just saw all the stories about the slap.
Absolutely. I read a report that Chris Rock, because they do obviously rehearsals, and Chris runs the jokes past I suppose the producers, but apparently that was an off-the-cuff
Oh, was
joke.
it? Interesting. Yeah, you always keep a couple in your back pocket just to keep the room fresh.
Yes.
But I guess it almost looked rehearsed because of how flamboyant the slap was. Why isn't anyone talking about how flamboyant
Yeah,
It
it
was
I know.
flamboyant. I think he changed his mind at the last
It seemed
minute.
like a scene from a movie, though, where you don't really slap them, or there's
It looked like a
technique
stage
to it.
slap because they're so flamboyant.
I want to move on from the Oscars and talk about the Slurpee Awards.
Oh, the Slurpees, yeah.
Tell me everything.
So the Slurpees are just a thing I started doing a few years ago at the Edinburgh Comedy Festival, and then it came over to the Melbourne Festival where we get a lot of downtime at these festivals. I spend most of it eating noodles, and so I thought I'll start rating the places I go for noodles on my
So these are soupy noodles? I'm
ideally.
imagining because they're called the Slurpees.
Yeah, that's
because there's the dry noodles, like
There.
the Singapore noodles, or there's what I call real noodles, which has got the soup around it, and
Yes.
and you really get into it.
Oh yeah. I'm an open-minded guy.
Yeah.
They can be soup, they can be dry, but they got to slurp.
Yeah,
That's the
you've
main
gotta
thing.
slurp
You
them.
can slurp a dry
Where
noodle.
do you get the best Slurpee noodles?
Slurping?
Soupy.
I've only just started my journey this year.
okay.
But yesterday I was at a place called Jojo Kitchen. And they got a couple. There was one in QV, and I was there, and that was slurpy as heck. It was great.
What about, have you been to Nam Lungs yet?
No.
No.
is that?
Sam, well, that's Sam's favourite noodle
My
place.
dad, it's one
In
my
the city.
dad used to used to take me to when
fantastic.
I was young. Yeah.
I'll try that out.
Don't go to the toilet, if you know what I mean. Just stay at the table, eat, and then go out. Yeah, sometimes, Phil, you don't want to go back a house sometimes.
No, that's part of the authentic experience.
It's authentic.
If the toilet's clean, I'm leaving. It's not going to be good.
It's a good point. Hey, can I ask this about your mum is a trained archaeologist?
Oh, yeah, she started as an archaeologist, yeah. And then she became a doctor. But when my parents met, she was an archaeologist out in Borneo.
Did she sit you down and you watch all the Indiana Jones movies together? Did she?
Yeah, you're about to learn a few things. No, but by the time I met her, I was born. By the time I was born, she was a doctor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She'd moved on.
Right. Yeah.
That's a shame.
Our girl here, Christine Swan, is the host of Would I Lie to You?
Oh, wow.
Which is the Australian version. But the UK version has been a juggernaut, and you've been on it.
I've been on it, and I was terrible. I was my worst appearance of all time, and this relates back to the Slurpees.
You told me this.
I'd eaten a big bowl of rice just beforehand, and it ruined me. I was just, I couldn't speak. All the blood drained from my head into my belly. I was like, well, actually, so that's a lie. I was terrible. I was so bad. But it's great to hear that the show's here now.
Yeah.
How many series is it?
It's really fun. Only the first series,
fantastic.
yeah, and I think there's 2 more episodes
We'll give him another go around, Swanee, when he comes to Australia next time.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm going to
come
have
on.
a salad
Yes.
and a glass of water, and that's it, and then I'm coming on. I'm staying sharp.
The
I love
last
that the
one
rice grew in you. Like
the last one we want to cover.
sponge.
What's the podcast? You've got a podcast.
Oh, yes, I've got a podcast with my friend, the comic Pierre Novelli. It's called Bud Pod.
What's it about?
Well, it's
how regular is it?
It's every week, and it's just a couple of buds talking about the news or something funny that's happened. We read correspondence from our pod buds, which are our fans, our listeners. It's just an excuse for me to chat with my pal. Like this.
Yeah.
Did this come about in lockdown by chance, like every other podcast?
I know. It was like babies and podcasts.
Yes.
A real boom over the lockdowns.
And bread. Sourdough starters.
Bread.
You wouldn't have done that. You wouldn't have
lots
made
of things
that.
and lots of ovens, basically. When we started beforehand for about a year, but now it's got to the point. The pandemic's been going so long that we've actually done more episodes now remote, just via Zoom than originally. Yeah, it really sneaks up on you.
Well, Philly Wang Wang is amazing, by the way, if you haven't seen it on Netflix. So
thank you so
It's just
much.
wonderful to see you again, mate.
Also, the real hero in all this is the name of the show. What a great title. Go to
Thanks.
Comedy Festival, where you just search for Phil Wang and get in quick. Thanks for coming in.
Chrissy, Sam and Brownie, Ripper Show will be back tomorrow. Chrissy, Sam and Brownie, unless it's a weekend. Over 100.